There's a fly in here today and it's driving me mental, and I've only been in here for about 30 seconds. I could treat you to an open door. What's everyone else doing about this whole hair situation then? Because we're like a few months into lockdown and this is becoming an issue. Please let me know. I ran out of gas again. Well, I kind of ran out of gas. I ran out of argon for the TIG welder, and then but I was doing first attempt at stainless. It's alright, innit? Done worse. So I ran out of argon, but also bought a brand new bottle of 5%, and it was half full. So, can't finish anything in this video. The lips in the rear arches, they need rolling, but all the way flat, which I can do a lot of. I'm just going to really slowly go around it with that. Be a laugh. But I can't finish it because I'm waiting on a rubber heel dolly to hold the other side. I want to give I know the paint will crack, but I want to give it the best opportunity, and if I use a rubber dolly it shouldn't harm the metal that much either. I want to get it absolutely. And then the other section is these boys. That's why I don't like having the door open. It's quite embarrassing filming yourself. These are air jack tubes. The original cars had massive, they're almost 90mm air jacks, but they're absolute rocking horse shit to get hold of. I managed to find one of them. How cool's that? They do 1,000 kilograms each. I don't know why you need to lift 4 tons 200mm off the ground, but whatever. So I'm going to put in, I want to put in these so it looks right, and then I'm going to use them as jacking points, and it means I don't have to spend £2 on getting period air jacks set up. So I've got these. A friend plasma cut these and rolled them for me because you can't get tube in this size. But I'm waiting for the end rings, so they look something like this, apart from they're the right size, and they're going to go in there. It's like a life hack to keep weight out of a vehicle. So you can have a nice big surface for the air jacks to sit on, but these are still only 1.5mm, so it doesn't really weigh anything. So today I'm going to start by hammering the rear arches a load until my arm gets tired, and then I'm going to look to cut some really big holes in the car, which should be fun for everyone. Hello! Got 2 issues over here. I'll let you into a bit of pain that I'm suffering at the moment. Number 1 issue is I'm having to hammer around here. I did start it actually the other evening. I came down just to practice some stainless welding and see how bad this was, and it's going to be alright. It's just not going to be very enjoyable for me because I really like this car. The other one's leaving that in there and trying to turn it over. The other one is, I guess you could see that, I've always had a rusty hole here, but I've had like a spatty boy that covers it. This is the only bit of rust on the whole car that I know of, and it was rusty because it holds it behind the spat. I need to put a plate on there. I want to try and keep it as simple as possible, but for now I'm just going to start hammering on this for a while. That's a heel dolly for anyone who doesn't know, but if I hold that on that, it's just going to ruin everything, isn't it? So I'm going to wait for the rubber one to turn up, but I'm just holding my hand against here at the moment, really lightly, just going over that. It'll take a long time, I think, but you won't have to watch it all, so don't worry about it. Going, it just needs patience, this one. Got any, but to channel some, I think. This is why I don't think those arch rollers are any good, because it takes a lot of time to stretch this metal out and get it laying back. If you imagine you're going to try and do it with a bit of paper and you're going from something like that and then turning it into like a NHS rainbow vibe, you just can't do it, can you? You can do it with metal because you stretch it, but you're not going to. It takes time to stretch metal. You're not going to do it just with a roller, so you're not going to get it like properly flat. I've also never heard a good story about someone rolling their arches on a Skyline, so I am expecting this to crack all around here paint wise. Just have to spray it in, some Dulux out. I'd say that's becoming a success. I think we'll be able to get this pretty flat today, but I think we'll need the dolly to finish it off. However, I think we'll crack the pade with the dolly. Right, you're in my way, I'll catch you in a minute. I thought this was going to go incredibly badly in terms of ruining the whole arches, but I've got it pretty flat without the dolly, and I think once I get it I might just go over it. It's cracked the paint to a lesser extent than I thought it was going to, but it's still going to have to blow in the arches a little bit at some point as I learn how to do anything. So this is where we're at. You can see that all the paint is kind of chipped off right around the edges, but it's always going to happen with this, I think. And then in terms of a lip, it's almost non-existent now, which is lovely. I'm happy with that. I think I'll do the other side, and then the back's at a point where it's kind of the same, and then I'll jump on and start marking out the air jack holes just for a bit of a break. It's worth mentioning it is like a double skin, where so you got the quarter panel coming over and in, and then you got the inner tub that's coming up around that, so you're trying to fold over quite a lot. Well, you end up with 4 bits of metal, and then sometimes where the spot welds are, it's a real, my right arm's a lot bigger than my left arm now, but done the other side. It's good, isn't it? Listening to a bit of drum and bass does make it a lot easier to work on these cars, you know. Even if you don't like it, I'd recommend giving it a good go. I'll show you it, it's just the same as the other side. Let me unlock the old girl. Should we go all the way with it? Here we go. So that is as far as I want to go without a dolly, otherwise I'll push the arches out too much. You're asking for trouble when you do this to yours. If you roll the arches like that, even if they're nice and clean behind, if you then go and use that on salty roads, I bet you'll have a problem. If you have done that and you found a really good way of sealing it, then let me know what you did so I can copy you. Especially if you did it several years ago and it's still good. If you did it yesterday, I don't really want to hear. Right, let's cut some 100mm holes in the floor for the old air jacks. Everyone's still enjoying these? Hope so. I've got a little Amazon Basics tripod and it's pretty life-changing. See that? That's what we're going for. Give me a minute. I've got some more photos, I think. Stood on a bit of wire brush yesterday and it went into my bone in my foot. But I don't know the vibe with infection and things like that. I guess it'll be alright with it. Really hurts. I decided that line is where it's going to go. I think that's kind of where I want to be. I'm going to cut that out. Good, day 2. I can't remember, what did we do last time? Got those tubes in, didn't we? Yep, put those tubes in. I picked up loads of welding gas, which is nice. There's no better feeling than having like 40 litres of welding gas at 200 bar. I think for the rest of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix that rusty spot in the back. So let's get to work on that. You need to go to the back, figure out how much you want to cut out, and then make up a little plate to put in there. Main pain of this is setting lights up all the time so the camera can see what's going on, because you quickly realise that our eyes are a lot better than GoPros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back to about where this line is, and then cut straight like that, so we end up with a square plate. There's a couple of 1 or 2 layers of metal underneath. I don't really understand how it's gone together, so we'll just cut the top one off and then see what the other 2 look like. Hopefully they're salvageable to the point where I don't actually need to do anything. Oh, that's alright. Kind of just looks like it was layered because it's all done that Viennetta banter when it's gone rusty, but I'll wire wheel that and I'm quite happy with it actually. Just use the old gentle chappy on this, because if you use one of those knotted ones, it'll just, you know what it'll do. Alright, that's all clean. It's a tiny little hole here in the back surface, but the rest of it's really good. So I think I might just weld the hole up rather than making another plate, because it's that small. Just to help me weld this little hole up, just got this little bit of copper 15mm end feed, if you're interested in that kind of shit. Just going to pop it on the back, should stop it from blowing through, and it'll make the weld a little bit neater on the inside, so I don't need to kind of get in here to linish it so much. If you wonder why I didn't do that with all the holes in there, it's because I'm an idiot. I should have just done it like this in the first place. Ready, Eddie? I turned got a few knobs on that welder. 2 of them I know what they do. It's voltage and wire speed, pretty self-explanatory. The other one is like intensity or something, but I just turned it down. I don't really need anything intense right now. Sweet, just got to grind that back, and then we can work on the top plate. I don't know how much I'll get done tonight. Been selling some bits and pieces to some people to raise funds, just standard bits that I don't need. But it went a bit wrong tonight actually. Ended up spending money rather than getting rid of it, but never mind. I hate when people make CAD jokes, it's not funny anymore. What do you reckon, boys and girls? Sort of get us close enough, innit? Day 3 today. Keep getting interrupted with bits and bobs, but we should be able to finish this little weldy bit today, and then that's ticked off the list, isn't it? I've got a new mic that I'm trying to use with this, and I've lost a couple of clips from it, but hopefully it's alright now. I think it's like cables and that. Should we get this out of the way then? It's alright, isn't it? Anyone else done this? I can definitely recommend it. Right, one thing that I missed off yesterday's videos was just got this little chap bent up, and then I put some weld through primer on it. So someone sold me both of these, ordered 2 cans of that, but they ran out, so I got one of each. I thought this was good because it comes out a lot better than the U-Pole stuff, but you can't weld through it. It's absolutely terrible. Stick to that. I'd recommend sticking to that anyway. I primed the other side as well, so we can just pop that on and look to really slowly weld it up so we don't get anything that hot. I'll show you how it fits over there. If anyone sees any bits in my hair that I've missed, let me know. Try and get them next time. It's alright, isn't it? The trick with this is just to take as much time as you possibly have. So that fits really well. I tried to keep all the bend lines right so it all makes sense. It's not the same as welding big plates on things. I just do lots of tiny little dots everywhere. The more you screw it up at this stage, the more filler you're going to have to put on it. Cool. So I'm going to clean the weld through primer off the edge of this, just some overspray that got on there. Then we'll stick that on. LED lights, I just cannot stand them. I have to shine them in my eyes all of the time. Anyway, there's a lot to be said for worn out flat wheels doing little jobs like this. I wouldn't be unhappy with it if I had to pay someone else to do it. Nice and smooth, can't even see where the plate is, one of those ones. I'm going to put some of that rubbish weld through primer on it, because I think it's just primer really. All I'm doing with that is just covering it until I paint it properly, don't worry. Good rust repair, I'd say. Problem solved. Just before I end the video, I didn't actually show you the air jack put in the rear tube because there was no sound when I recorded it. So, I'll give you a glimpse. What do you think of that then? I think it looks pretty motorsport. Yeah, this is where most of the photos are taken from of the Group A car. I'll chuck in an image over the top and you can play spot the difference. It's always a fun game, isn't it? So I've got loads of stuff off this that I just don't need anymore because with it being raced and stuff, there's loads of bits that I don't need, interior bits and this and that. We were selling something to someone earlier on when I had that break in the video. Anyway, I've had some T37 sat in the corner that I couldn't be bothered to sell for ages, just didn't need to get round to it, but did need to get some 18x10 wheels for this. He turned up with some wheels in the car, which was just a bit random really, and as soon as he mentioned it I thought, right, I can see where this is going. Did a part X against a bit that he wanted, my wheels, and then these wheels. He's happy because he's got some nice T37s with a load of decent tyres on them, and I'm happy because I've got the bigger size of wheel that I want on this car. I'm not that happy because I had to spend a load of money that I wasn't expecting to spend. I'm supposed to be earning money at the moment, not spending it. However, it does look pretty good back there. You can have a look. Whoa, mother. She haven't got the seat in as well, really, isn't it? Imagine that. I'll probably try and mount them on a subframe when I'm actually driving the car rather than the bin. So that's a bit of a result, isn't it? I don't really know wheels, but they look nice and they're the right size, and I've heard of BBS before, so I did really like my T37s that were on it, but it just wouldn't be enough rubber for what I'm trying to do with the car. We'll leave it there for this video. In the next one we'll carry on putting these in, get the rings all TIG welded on there, put them on the front and stuff. If you can think of anyone that wants to watch this stuff, share it around. Nice to share the build with people. Right, see you next time.